No, I won't calm down, and I don't give a f if it's to help children with health difficulties. Stop calling this number and... Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. It's me, Jake, here again by the fire. I've been playing Monster Hunter World a heck of a lot this week, and wow, what an immersive game, and what an immersive world. Whether you're a regular Joe like me or you, or a highly profitable sociopath like Mark Zuckerberg, sometimes you just want to escape and explore another world. So this week I asked the guys in the office, hey, what's the best world in a video game you've ever visited? And I would like to show you our picks. So come, take my hand, and let's take a journey into another world. Come on. Dead Space is a sci-fi survival horror game crafted in hell by Visceral Games. You play Isaac Clarke, who fights necromorphs on board an interstellar mining ship called the USG Ishimura. The Ishimura is a Planet Cracker class ship, a gigantic vessel used for large-scale commercial and deep space expeditions. This place is huge. Okay, so we're immediately breaking the rules and going for a gigantic spaceship here instead of a giant world, but it's a setting for a game, and that's good enough for us. In Dead Space, you're forced to explore the infested halls of the Ishimura and then retread ground as the game goes on, which gives players a sense of the layout. And there's the bridge, the medical decks, and the mining decks to explore. All of them feel fully realised and well crafted. So why not let Mike tell you why he likes it so much?
Well, I do really like it, but I like it because it's so bad, and I can visit this bad place and kind of brave it and experience the horror, and then I can just switch it off and go make a cup of tea. That's important. So no, I would not live on the Ishimura, but it is one of my favourite video game locations, if not my favourite video game location. It really stayed with me afterwards, and even though they made a terrible anime movie based on Dead Space that absolutely ruined the story, still didn't ruin the magic and the majesty of the Ishimura, if you will. I really liked that it was a mining colony, and they were just mining, and they delved too deep like the dwarves of Moria in Lord of the Rings, which I found quite profound. Also reminds me of Event Horizon a little bit, which is a great film, one of my favourites.
Thanks for sharing your story, Mike. BioShock Infinite is a first-person shooter developed by Irrational Games and published by 2K. It tells the story of Booker DeWitt, who was sent to the airborne city of Columbia to find a young woman. Just like Rapture from the previous BioShock games, Columbia is a world brimming with character and depth. The steampunk city is full of blimps, propellers, and quantum levitation. The city came about when tensions rose between Columbia and the rest of the USA. Columbia decided, "F it, I'm off," and flew away. Its location soon lost to everyone. This floating world's fair, now free from influence, could finally become the theocratic dystopia that its founding fathers always wanted it to be. So why not get Liam to tell us why it's so damn good?
Yeah, Columbia from BioShock Infinite. It is a stunningly designed world. The art direction is just on point throughout the entire thing. What it gets me is how it's the stark opposite to Rapture. Rapture was this like really grimy underwater city, and you know, Columbia's this utopia in the sky. There's like no problems. It seems prosperous at first. Spoilers, it's not really. It's just how stark a contrast it is to Rapture. And you've got like the Songbird, which is cool. It's kind of got that little steampunky vibe to it with the engine propellers and all that, and the blimps keeping it afloat. It's a very nice, bright world, which you don't often see in first-person shooters. Shame about the racists, though.
Developed in 1997, Final Fantasy VII by Square was the first 3D installment in the long-running franchise. Assisted by a large pre-release promotional campaign, Final Fantasy VII was a commercial and critical success and is still widely regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. As the game starts, you play a mercenary called Cloud, who works with a bunch of freedom fighters to bomb sectors of a giant city called Midgar, and after hours of gameplay you assume that's all there is to it. Then something happens and the game opens up and you've got a whole world to explore. So Midgar, the first town, you actually thought was like the whole game. Then it opens up and it's one of 15 giant towns or locations. Some places like Midgar and Junyan, they've got places inside there that are so big they could be towns of themselves. The game is huge, and I spent hours and hours and hours as a kid and then as a teenager and then as an adult playing it and replaying it, from the Golden Saucer to Cosmo Canyon. So memorable. Final Fantasy VII actually turned 21 years old this week, which means it's legally old enough to drink in the United States, which I find crazy. Because still to this day, I haven't found an open world game, and I mean this now, that's blown me away and impressed me as much as Final Fantasy VII. Without a doubt, the best open world game for me, at least. Red Dead Redemption is Rockstar's Western-themed action-adventure title from back in 2010. The second one is actually due out this year, and it's safe to say it's one of the most anticipated games around, at least here in the office. The game is set during the decline of the American frontier in 1911, and it follows the story of John Marston, a former outlaw who's forced to hunt down his former gang members. But enough about the plot. The game is set in 2 fictitious US counties and 1 fictitious Mexican state. Cowboys and outlaws are running amok, and the beautiful and barren landscape of the Wild West is beginning to fade. With a rich and detailed world to explore, from poker games in the saloons to hunting missions for locals, Red Dead Redemption shows off a world that you can truly get lost in. But hey, don't take my word for it, alright? Why don't we let Gaz tell you why he likes that so much?
I guess it's the amount of time you could just spend out in the wild and just like when you're a kid, going camping, you know, with yourself and your trusty knife, skinning animals and staying alive, like Bear Grylls would or something like that. But it's the kind of game you literally just spend hours skinning animals and shit. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy that? This
is making you sound a little bit like a sociopath.
The fact that you can just stumble upon some random NPC who's maybe dying of thirst or something, and she's gone crazy. You know, just these random chance occurrences. You never know what's out there. It's an open, wild world, and it's an adventure in itself, aside from all the regular quests. And that's what, you know, it gives it that rich depth of, you know, immersion. It's just great. It's just fantastic. Who wouldn't want that in a game?
Wasn't that so much fun? So, there are picks of the best and the most immersive worlds in video games, at least in our opinion. We have some really great responses to the boss fight one, and I'd love to hear what you think the best world is. Half-Life 2's City 17, Legend of Zelda's Hyrule, any of the GTA maps really, they're all amazing. The Fallout Wasteland perhaps, and let us know what your favourite video game world is down below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new around here. There's more content here if you want to check that out. There's also a link to our Patreon if you want to support the channel. Stay warm, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.